Lionel kind of explain what's been going on at the city.
All right. Well, when I left the county, I think it was 2013, I came back to the city of Hemet as their code manager. And during that time, Sarah Rittmeyer was the senior inspector. And her and I were really close. I mean, I was like, we were like really close. And I seen her as a dear friend. But during this time, we would talk openly. And she came back from one of Simon's projects upset. And I said, hey, what are you all upset about? And she'd say, like, Simon. I go, but what happened? So she went on to say that, kind of, she made a call and Simon kind of called her on the carpet because it was kind of one of these bogus calls, right? I'm not too sure what the correction was or what she made the call on, but Simon kind of corrected her and she didn't like that. And she kind of in and I don't want to put words in her mouth, but she kind of said it's not over, or you I'm still going to be the senior inspector here. And I know Sarah from in the past. I mean, she's very vindictive. Where you get her upset, you got to be careful because she won't stop. So times under this time, we're under the planning director, Deanna Eliano, and she would go out in the field and do inspections on Simon's properties, and Deanna would ask me to go with her. I said, well, why do you need me to go with her? And he goes, I just want to make sure that the calls are being right, the right calls. And there was one call that the corner of State and Florida, the old Sharkies didn't have the roof. And so Sarah made a call where before he did all the seismic retrofitting on the building, Sarah made a call where she wanted him to take the roof joists off or the truss. And I said, and I remember sitting there, I wouldn't question her out in the field. But then on the way in, I said, Sarah, that's not a right call. I go, because that's what's holding these walls up. And then she's going like, well, I go, what does his engineer say? And she goes, well, I'm going to override his engineer. So she comes back and tells Deanna that she made this call. She's going to have Simon remove the truss that are holding together this building from collapsing to the exterior. And I remember Deanna looking at her and she goes, you sure that's the right call? I goes, well, I'm gonna have it. I go, something about his engineers. Sarah was going to look into hiring an engineer or having Simon hire a different engineer and make the corrections on or the call. So after Sarah walks out of Deanna's office, Deanna asks me, she goes, Lionel, what do you think? Oh, and I said, well, why are we going to override Simon's engineer? Now we're taking the responsibility as a city on ourselves.
Right.
Let engineer make the call. If something does happen, then it's on Simon and his engineer. I said, but if Sarah makes this call, then we get the liability. The building's going to topple over. And she goes, what do you think would be the best? And I go, well, I haven't seen the plans, but my understanding that he's going to do seismic retrofitting where he's going to put the steel beams in stuff. And I go, let him attach that. I think that's what he's going to do. He's going to attach steel beams to that. So Deanna called Sarah back, and Deanna says, no, we're not gonna supersede or override Simon's engineering, his engineer. And Sarah kind of got mad at that. Why did I go behind her back?